Greetings, brothers and sisters. So, tonight we are going to read the second testimony of the Marine Kingdom princess. Alright, so without wasting much of your time, let's just jump right into it. Okay.
Sister Marvellous of DR Congo 2. The Marine Kingdom Princess 2. In the Marine Kingdom, I was a princess. My parents died when I was still a child. My elder brother was living out of the city. He was our father and mother, the cornerstone of the family. He was often sending me money. Nevertheless, I was fighting his financial life despite the fact that he was our support. I was throwing his money in a hole. This ritual affected his finance. When I was crowned as a princess, I was given a goblet having a drawing of a serpent. I see this serpent in many tattoos of men. The purpose of this goblet was offering and sacrifice. Whenever a person gave me money, I was putting it into the goblet as tithes in order to sacrifice his finance. I was actually taking 10% of the money people were giving me and I was dropping it in the goblet. There is a female demon that dwells in money notes. She is called Mamona. There is a power in money that causes people to go to the extreme. Because of money, people do what they would not do. Given that our parents were dead, he finally decided that I should join him in the west of the country. That way he would be able to finance my education and monitor my development. As soon as I arrived at his place, first and foremost, I took possession of the house, and then I blinded the residents of the house. Whenever the children of darkness arrived in a house, a park or a street, they would take possession of the land. However, God's children are not practical in terms of applying spiritual principles. The Bible says in Joshua 1:3, "For every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. For from the wilderness and this Lebanon even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your coast." Deuteronomy 11 verses 23 to 24. Then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. 24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be. I was instructed to mind the compound of my brother, and I was given a grain of sycamore tree which I planted there. I worked in collaboration with someone who was also renting in this compound. My elder brother had a child outside marriage, and he wanted his 11-year-old daughter to join his family so that she will bond with his children. When this girl came home, I saw that she was already possessed by her mother. I rushed to give my personal clothes, even my underwear. This is in order to perpetrate more manipulation in her life. It is when my sister-in-law bought clothes for the girl that she noticed the girl was wearing my underwear. She called me and rebuked me. This girl was really good in math, and she was smart. Sometime after wearing my underwear, her intelligence began to go down. My sister that was with her noticed a sudden drop in terms of understanding. As a result, everybody became suspicious, and there was trouble in the house. My brother and his family rose in prayer in order to fight witchcraft manipulation that was causing damage in the house and the life of his daughter. When spiritual battle with my brother who was a Christian began, I was unfazed. I was in peace, for I knew his level in the spirit world, and I knew the intensity and degree of his prayer. I was not bothered since I knew about his level in the spirit world. Before engaging the enemy, one has to evaluate his strength. My brother does short prayers that have no power. When the family prayed against witchcraft manipulation, I also joined them in the prayer. I saw that their prayer was powerless. I saw that they were doing short prayers and I was praying long prayers in comparison to all of them, though I was an agent of the water world. Later we took her to a church to discover what went wrong with the girl that had lost her intelligence and why she has lost her intelligence. Since this was not a powerful and prayerful church, I went on to perpetrate manipulation against them and they could not identify my status. I had actually left my witchcraft outside the church. The works of darkness, when you are a servant of the devil, it is all about wickedness. The thief comes to steal, kill and destroy. There was a neighbor that I decided to destroy. We did not have a conflict or hard feeling. In fact, for a witch to attack, he does not need a motive or justification. It's all about perpetrating wickedness. The lady was a corpulent woman, but when I began to attack her, she lost all the weight and got slim. She ran to see a native doctor who exposed me as the instigator of her condition. The lady came to threaten me and my family, for I was coming even in her dream, and her sickness was prolonged. I was walking in the city and capturing the words of people who were cursing others. And when I heard these curses, I captured these evil words in order to bring them to pass. I mean, people died literally because of these words of curse. When they died, I gathered their blood in the cup of offering. Whenever this goblet was filled with the blood of the victim, it was shared in the underwater kingdom between agents. Thus, we must be careful about what we say and the words that come out of our mouths. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, Proverbs 18 verse 21. I was passing in the street when I heard a mother cursing her child. She said, "Get out of this place. I wish you had an accident and die." I was stunned when I heard these words. I said in my wicked heart, "These people are making it so easy for me. I do not need to tussle myself. I just need people to curse their loved ones and friends so that I can bring to pass their words." I captured the words of this mother that was cursing her son, and these words came to pass. The child was hit by a motorbike. When he died, I captured the soul of this child and took him to captivity in the astral world. He was killed by the words of his own mother. May the Lord have mercy on my soul. I did not do this out of hate. I was a slave of the devil. On that day of destruction, when I had captured the soul of this boy, I turned him to a camel. That was a means of transport in my journey to the submarine kingdom. I told you that I was traveling to the marine world, thanks to camels. That was a means of transport. These camels were not terrestrial camels. They were human souls, victims of human sacrifice that were turned into camels. Later the marine kingdom instructed me to get back to that lady that had killed her son through her words. I was sent to destroy another little boy of this woman. The devil is wicked. In this battle, what saved the little boy was the name that her mother gave him, for this boy was called Winner. Whenever I came to destroy him, I saw on his forehead the word Winner. Whatever I did never worked. I even managed to give the child something to eat, but he threw it away. Rather, the name that we bear matters. Your name can be your source of trouble or source of goodness. And when I was trying systematically to destroy the child, the Lord went on to warn his family through a dream. Job 33 verses 14 to 16. For God speaks in one way and in another, yet no one notices. In a dream, in a vision in the night, when deep sleep falls upon men as they slumber on their beds, he opens their ears and terrifies them with warnings. The younger sister of the mother of this boy dreamed that we battled and fought each other to the point of injuring one another. It was a deadly battle. And she told the mother of the child what she saw in the dream. As a result, they gathered for family prayer and they destroyed the plot and conspiracy of the enemy. I was unable to do anything about the boy and I gave up this battle. But my little sister that I have initiated in witchcraft decided to continue this fight against the child. I said to her, "This was my battle and I failed. I am telling you to give up this fight. You will not win." My sister continued to go against the child. Later I came to discover that when my sister was attacking the child, she was using my face. As a result, the child was speaking in the dream, repeating my name, for he was seeing my face, though it was my sister. My baptism and coronation in the marine world. Whenever I traveled to the marine world to sit on my throne, all my servants were on their knees bowing to me, for I was a princess there. They could not look at my face. My aunt was throwing glittering roses on the ground wherever I was walking, just like those queens you see in cartoons. Every week we had a plan of destruction. I was to give a weekly program of destruction to the hierarchy and also review the annual program. It is in the month of November and December that human sacrifices were planned for all the destruction that had failed throughout the year. We had to try it again in November and December. There is a power of destruction at the end of the year as the devil himself descends to earth. He is a fallen angel who knows all the strategies and tactics of destruction. They say he knows 99%, but the other 1% they say he knows not. He has the wisdom that he employed to cause destruction. This fallen angel always made it easy for us when we were failing to cause destruction. When Lucifer fell from heaven, immediately he sent one of his lead angels to descend to the sea. And it is this high-ranking angel who is the creator of mermaid sirens and all the marine spirit demons that dominate the world and all the coastal cities. These aquatic demons and ladies of the sea influence the lives of those who are attached to fashion, beauty, and the vanity of this world. And whenever I traveled to the submarine civilization to sit on my throne, my lower part was that of a fish. But the tales of goddesses are different. I was supposed to offer human blood and gravitate levels in order to become a goddess. And since I was eager to rise up the levels, I was supposed to destroy God's servants and offer their blood to the Queen of the Sea. Otherwise, one has to offer his parent as a sacrifice to become a goddess. Since my parents were dead, I was to offer the blood of God's servants to the marine kingdom. Right after my coronation, I was instructed to go through sanctification. In order to be prepared for greater power, I was transported in dark water and I was dipped in the water 3 times. And under the 3rd instance, when I came out of the water, I saw that I was wearing a crown. I came out of the water more beautiful than ever. My black skin was so striking that people watched and admired me. My skin seemed like that of a woman that dwells in the water. I saw that I came out of the water with lots of hair, though I have less hair previously. Basically, ladies of the sea have long hair, and I was supposed to have a lot of hair. I was coronated as a princess of the sea. When causing destruction, I sacrificed a woman on the day of her wedding. She sent her brother to buy natural hair that women call wig. As soon as she wore that natural hair, she began to have maggots on her head and she died on the day of the wedding. I used to say that I would never weave my hair, whether it is natural hair or synthetic hair. Today, the Lord reveals that all these wigs are demonic, whether they are natural hair or artificial hair. The mystery is that natural hair and wigs are signals in the spirit world, and these signals are captured by antennas of the world of Satan. And this enabled them to control the life of the person using these items. There is a signal that goes from natural hair to the antenna of the world of Satan, and the enemy can use natural hair on your head in order to destroy your life and your home. Bear in mind that the human civilization is influenced and controlled by the world that is underwater, the submarine civilization. Whenever a fashion trend becomes out of fashion and old in the world of mermaids, it is automatically sent to earth, for the world is under the power of the evil one. The trend of this world comes from the marine world. I thank God for my pastor does not tolerate ladies putting makeup, wigs, and worldly adornment. No one in our church put beauty product. Agents of water spirits are always perverse and deep in sexual impurity. They are jealous and they will not tolerate seeing a couple living in peace and harmony. They always have an urge to dislocate marriages that are in harmony and peace. But I thank God they did not place the spirit of sexual immorality in me. Not long after the coronation, I was instructed to sacrifice the wombs of all my sisters. As a result, they were never able to deliver. Even today they are barren, for I had sacrificed their wombs to the Queen of the Sea. After my coronation underwater, I was led to my throne. My lower part became a fishtail. I was given a chain having 8 horns. Then I was the image of the Queen of the Sea that had baptized me. She had a face of a human, but her feet were snakes. She had 4 tails, which were snake tail, fish tail, animal tail, and goddess tail. She was seated on her throne where she commands marine demons and does not move. I was told, "This is your leader, the queen that had crowned and baptized you. You can only see her image. In order to reach a throne, you are to offer human blood, mainly the blood of the most important people in your family. You will offer the kind of family members that are the cornerstone of the family, whose absence will bring instability in the family, people whose absence will cause people's hearts to be shaken." My aunt said, in most cases, Princess of the Sea offered their parents. Since your parents are dead, you will offer the blood of God's servants and God's children. Given that I was eager to rise up the levels and approach the queen, therefore I decided to offer her human blood, the blood of God's children. When I saw a pastor preaching on television in France, I decided to offer him in sacrifice to the Queen of the Sea. There are many pastors on TV. Many are making a lot of noises, but they are empty and powerless. Many have resorted to black magic. They belong to us. Many are looking for money. I watched this pastor on TV testifying. He said, "I have been in the Lord for more than 70 years. But today I saw the Lord in a dream. And the Lord told me, 'You have just made the first step in your walk with me.' I said, 'Lord, I have been a Christian for many decades. But I realized that I have wasted many years coming to church and failing to walk with the Lord, for I was walking in my own way.' I watched this pastor speaking on television, and I decided to destroy him. Not long after that, I traveled to France to execute him. When I got to his place, very quickly I saw that he was surrounded by radiant angels. I was at a dead end. I wondered, what can I do to reach him? My aunt told me, 'If only you can get him, it will be something.' She challenged me to be daring and go for that soul. I now knew that I was facing a genuine man of God. For I saw many signs and signatures that indicated that this was an authentic man of God. Firstly, wherever he walked, there was a projector before him that was illuminating his step, for his path was enlightened. He was not walking in darkness. A light was lightening his step. The Bible says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path," Psalm 119 verse 105. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in the darkness, but will have the light of life, John 8 verse 12. Moreover, there was a shining star on his forehead, and beneath this shining star on his forehead, there was a rainbow, beaming multicolored lights that were illuminating his house. This was the covenant he had with his Lord. Beside this rainbow, this man had a shining crown of light. When I got in his house to destroy him, I was blinded by multiple lights of the rainbow. Despite the light, I decided to get to the man of God. And when I got to the living room, I was projected outside by a force. At that moment, my aunt told me, "If you continue to persist to attack this man, you may die. Every time you find yourself in this situation, you must fall back and regroup. You are new, you have a special position and a crown, but you have to go slow." But I was adamant and decisive. Believers are not decisive in terms of rising levels in the kingdom of God on earth and winning souls. However, the Satanists are eager to impose abstinence and deprive themselves in order to get power. When I came for the second time to attack this man of God, I was opposed by a heavenly shield that I could not break. I tried all the strategies and tactics to break the defense and protection of this man. The last time I came to destroy him, I was behind his line of protection. It was dangerous. His house was full of multicolored lights. I was still unable to reach him. My aunt said, "You have failed, just give up." When I decided to abandon and fall back, I turned around in order to leave his place. At that moment, I was in shock. I saw the defense mechanism that the Lord had put in place for his servant. I realized that I was behind the enemy line. I saw descending flaming horsemen and angelic knights in this house. I saw clearly that I was surrounded by giant warriors of a heavenly army. They were incredibly tall and resplendent. I was like an ant before them, and they were numerous. They landed with their horses and chariots of fire. I said to myself, "I am finished. I should have listened to my aunt." I was so bewildered that when I saw them, I fell to the ground and began to step back. I was watching these towering warriors. These angelic giants moved gradually toward me to destroy me. It is when they got in a distance of a meter from me that they all stopped. I never knew why they stopped and gave up destroying me. Brother, it is because the Lord knew that I belonged to him, that he spared my life. The grace of God was upon my life, despite witchcraft practice. In the past, I saw an illustration of the celestial army of God. But on that day, I saw the army of the Lord with my eyes. They were tremendous. You are playing with God and failing to fear him, because you don't know him. But when you see these angels, you will never play with God anymore. I want to tell you that is playing with God to stop today. You are playing with God because you don't know him. Don't fall in the hand of God. You cannot continue to play with God. It is because I was executing the instruction of the goddess in a meticulous way that I came across the army of God. This was a tremendous army of celestial warriors. They were riding white horses and holding flaming swords. And these were not just swords, for they were fiery, and these horses were out of the ordinary, for they were covered with fire, and they were descending with chariots of fire. These giant warriors descended in such a prodigious speed. When I saw them descending, I thought about rapid intervention force. It was like they were responding to an alarm to intervene and prevent danger. Thus, when God's children sleep, celestial giants intervene with a prodigious speed. It was beyond belief. However, when I was in a war against God's children, it was clear that many of them were empty. Some were praying louder and making noise, but they were empty because of conflict, unforgiveness, and bitterness. I threatened lives of men of God, and I saw armies of heaven descending with tremendous power on many occasions. I always wonder why these soldiers were reluctant to destroy me. Why have they decided not to destroy me? I came to understand that the grace of God was with me. Whenever I was surrounded by the angels of God, I saw that I was instantly transported back in my body at home. Yet we know that in this situation, we cannot even move. We will be paralyzed and neutralized. It is absolutely impossible to move and disappear and to escape such force of God. By his grace, the Lord was pulling me out of these deadly situations. The Lord in his love was sparing my soul. The Bible says in Psalm 105 verse 15, "Touch not my anointed," but when I tried to touch his anointed, he spared me. All this just because I wanted power and authority in the spirit world and become a goddess that is more powerful than a princess. When I returned home, I was told, "Since you have exceeded the time of the assignments, you need to pay amends." This meant people had to die. I went on to cause miscarriages in the family. End.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of it. We will wait for another testimonies. Good night.